What's up, all Power Ass Crew? Today's video, we're going to be taking out the day. What's up, all Power Ass Crew? Today we are playing with gauge clusters. So actually, what we're doing, we're pulling the gauge cluster out of a rust bucket, and here's how this is going to have to go down. I've got most of the dash taken apart in rust buckets, so for people who's never done this before, we're going to jump over to my 91. We're going to take the gauge bezel off. I'm going to show you what screws come out, and then we'll jump over on the rust bucket and finish it out. Now, what we're not going to be doing is pulling the speedometer and the tack because they're a bit more involved, okay? So those will be in other videos. What we're also going to be talking about later on in the video is the fact that, I'm going to show you guys what to look for once you pull it, but we're not going to do a does it work test. Sometimes you can see it work while it's in the rig, sometimes you can't, depends. But at least you can do a visual inspection and say, okay, I think I can work with this. So sure, I'll give you whatever, how much money for it, And when you get home, then you can bench test it, say, okay, what do we need to make this thing work? All right. So first of all, let's jump over on the 91, show you how to take the bezel off. So if you're the type of person who likes to save money, save time, and do the job yourself, this is the channel for you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and let's roll. So you'll notice a little bit of difference in the gauge cluster between, this is my 91 and rust bucket, which is a 93. Over here on rust bucket does not have anything over here because this one has a clock in it, but the rust bucket does not. But for pulling it out of the dash, it's all the same. So to get this started, we got 1 screw, 2 screws, 3 screws, 4, 5, 6 screws. Take them out. Now that we have that hanging out of the way, now see the wiring right there? That's from a previous video where I put USB and power ports in this piece right here, as you'll see right there. So if you've never done that mod, you will not have those wires. So now what we need to do, we got 1 screw right here, right there, right there, right there, right there, and 1 tucked way back up inside there. Now if you feel froggy, you can remove this piece right here, but it's not totally necessary. Now we're going to go over to the rust bucket. Now I'm not sure how well the camera's picking it up because through the viewfinder I can't see the screw at all, but you see where the screwdriver goes up inside there. That's that one that I told you is tucked in behind. There's where your speedometer and your tack and everything is located. Well, you can bring the screw out. It's going to be tight and you may end up dropping it, but it comes out of there. Alright, now my gauge cluster is about loose. I need to put the camera down and catch it. So yeah, be right back. Once you get all the screws out, grab your cluster and just slowly work it back. And what you're going to see is, right over here, pull that end out a little bit first, because over here you've got a tab that goes in behind this trim piece. Then take this rocket off to the side, pick it up a little bit, and there you go. It's out. Then this right here, you got to take, find it for you before I take it out. See that little tab right here? Take that tab, pull it forward like that. That releases your harness. Then you pull the plug out, but I don't want to drop my gauge cluster, so I want to use both hands. But you just pull that forward a little bit, it unhooks it, and then pull your gauge cluster or plug out, yeah, whatever it is. Your wiring harness plug, yeah, that's it, yeah. Now that we got it out, let's check it out. First, you look at your lens, you got no cracks anywhere. This one looks good, just dirty. Yeah, let's see. All your tabs are in good shape, but we knew that when we took the screws out. Sometimes though, what'll happen, if one's been abused pretty hard, you can have one of these screw tabs that'll be broken, but the screw up in the dash will just be holding in place, or it'll be cracked just enough it's not going to turn loose. So you can inspect those, make sure they're good, and this one's pretty solid. Then you get her flipped over. Look at all your traces, all your copper traces in your film here. They all look good. We'll do a video later on how to test all those. And here's your bulbs. So you can just simply turn it like this. Pop them out, change out your bulbs, or put in LEDs if you want to, totally up to you. I've got a video where I did LEDs on my 91. One thing you got to pay attention to, whenever you do LEDs in these, and this should be a bulb number 194, whenever you put them in, most LEDs are polarity sensitive, means it's got a positive post and a negative post. If you put them in backwards, it will not light up. So what you need to do is, if you put it in, plug it in here, and it doesn't light up, you have to pull it back out, turn the bulb 180 degrees, pop it back in. But a lot of the newer bulbs now that go into these, you look real close, the wire right there, and right there. Oftentimes now, because of the way those wires fold over, on LEDs, they're both sides. So some of them, it doesn't matter when you plug them in. But if you was to put one in, it don't light up, you know what's up. Take it out. Okay, oh my gosh, it don't light up. Take your LED out, which this is not LED, it's a standard incandescent. Take it, turn it 180 degrees. Plug it back in, and it should light up then. But that's on LEDs. These kind of bulbs right here don't really matter. So yeah, this one here looks pretty good. Most of my everything's in clean and good shape. You can see that film lifts off there, but we're going to cover that in a later video. So right now, let's take our cover off. You know, you take it apart, you want to clean it, right? Then you simply take your lens, give it a slight little tug up top right here, just fold it over this way. And right there, you can see right here, these little hooks, whatever. These little tabs right here hook inside them right there. So what you do, simply stick it inside here, like that, roll it over, boom, screw holes automatically line up. Pretty easy. So while we're in here, we'll look at our gauge faces. They all look good. Now this one does not have a clock. That would be right here if it had that option. Or in some cases, you're gonna have your 4-wheel drive indicator as well, which whenever you put in 4-wheel drive, it'll light up. Some have that. For right now, we're gonna go ahead and put the lens back on to protect the needles in the gauge so we don't beat and bump it around and hurt something. Take your screws, put in there, just finger twist, and just snug up the screws. Okay, you tighten, you're turning. Uh-oh, I feel contact. Look at my finger position. See? Finger position right here. Don't, finger position. Hold it like it's here. That's all you need. Boom, done. Notice my finger position? That's to make sure you don't over torque it. Boom, done. Now let's talk about the strip in the back here for a moment. If you go down through here, okay, of course here's where a wiring harness plugged in at. G, right here. What does that mean? That is a ground connection. F, fuel. G, ground connection. T, temperature. That goes out to your temperature sending unit. Plus positive, because that's more than likely it's going to be for your bulb. Let's see. You got a positive right here, which means it's going to be whenever you turn your lights on. I'm connected into here. If you follow it over, follow the copper trace all the way around here, and it goes to another positive here, and you see it touches on this side of the bulb, right there. So this positive comes around through here, it comes down there. That's ground coming up the top of that one, so that's going to be another positive here. Because look, G right here, that's going to be the ground here. Trace it over, it's coming on this side of the bulb, which means this right here is going to be positive coming back to the plug here. Which when we take all this right here apart on another video, I'll give you guys a little more in-depth description about that. Then we come over on this side of the plug, you got G, ground, plus for your positive. Oh, oil pressure right there. So then you slide on over here. You got your ground, your hot, and this is going to come over into here, which is going to read for your battery voltage. See, pretty simple. Now the reason I'm making this video so, I guess you might say, simplistic and not go into a whole bunch of detail about diagnosing gauges and stuff like that is simply, okay, if you go into a junkyard and you happen to get lucky to find a Jeep Wrangler in the junkyard, you can pull it out. You know how to pull it out. You know how to remove the trim bezel without busting anything, all that fun stuff. And you know how to pull this out for the people who's never done it before. That's where I'm coming from with this video. Also, go ahead and a visual inspection. Knows copper trace is good. You know, all your lights are there. Is there anything cracked and all this stuff I went over with you a few minutes ago. There's going to be a video later on to where I test these gauges, bench test them, to make sure everything's good to go on them. Cool. But that's going to be a much more detailed, longer video. So hence the reason that this is being so simplistic. Make sense? Alright. Alright, my Power Addicts crew. Did you guys learn a little something from this video? I hope you did. So little by little, we're going to be showing you how to take the parts out of Rust Bucket because I'm stripping the dash completely clean. So if you'd like to see this step-by-step disassembly, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. So if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave some cool comments down below. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Peace. Later, y'all.